Kuna simu za budget. Pala ndindi nyoro. Peka la mengi wa mtuzi. Nama ba maje wa wenda pala kwa msumbe. Lakini kaone evikizitu meme. Mbungene. Nina kuna wakasimu ba na kwa msumbe wana ni kitu kinena mwana mbungene. Kwa simu kwa kuna ndika mama mwaza. Lakini nyama ba maje wa mwanda pala kwa hiyo. Kweli kaone bado ngaka budget ya Kenya ninga ngamia. Na yu hina awe ataisi mwono neze mwandumanga hii yumu thimu katulia ndu keta ngasa uwe nemuzize wala mwengu wa mtuza kore hai mwono ngaungamia budget hii kwa baba unongi yujele lakini nikawa simu kalala ako niwa nitaka umabumu ungeni na nitaka aza muzumbe wako na simu aza budget pala ndidi nyoro peka la mwengu wa mtuza na nina mama lakini wakela wa ili ubele na mwe ine muzio malinda ambe oke pastor mwa toboye na mweka la mbio ndimwe
salale mambo yamezidi kuchemka zaidi na zaidi. Ni baada ya mheshimiwa Mwingi Mutuse kuweza kusema Ruto aliweza kumdanganya kwa kumwahidi kuweza kumpatia kiti cha Dede Nyoro. Kabla tuendelee usahau kusubscribe, like, utakuwa umenisaidia zaidi. Basi hivi leo mheshimiwa Mwingi Mutuse ameweza kufungua kimya na kuweza kusema Ruto aliweza kumdanganya na kumwahidi kana kwamba akiweza kumtoa Rigathi Gachagua basi atapewa kiti cha budget of committee, ambapo ukikumbuka kiti hicho kilikuwa na Dede Nyoro ambaye aliweza kubanduliwa na kiti hicho kikaweza kupatiwa Ole Soon. Basi Mwingi ameweza kumtusi ama kumwekelea maneno Rais Ruto na kuweza kusema Rais Ruto huenda ni msaliti mkubwa zaidi na mwaka ujao hawataweza kumchagua. Kumbuka Dede Nyoro,
something very fundamental called the nation. And the nation is the soft side of the country. Honorable Speaker, many times, even economically speaking, many countries actually progress when they have been able to align their culture. And Honorable Speaker, many times we confuse the culture and the language. That is only one side of what we call the nation, or shared identity, or shared values. The soft side of the country, Honorable Speaker, encompasses and answers the question of who are we as a country, who are we as a citizenry. Honorable Speaker, one could be language, others could be shared values, others could be even our temperament, others could be our disposition as a people, because, Honorable Speaker, all these soft sides of what defines the people form what is called the culture. Honorable Speaker, in this modern era, it is beholden upon all of us. And that is why culture is always actually not static, Honorable Speaker. It is progressive and dynamic. It behoves all of us to look at the segments of our culture, which then brings identities that are static. Identities, Honorable Speaker, that then brings about fault lines in the relationships of the people. And that is why many countries, Honorable Speaker, have had many people with different cultures, but they came together to find an overarching culture, a shared value across. That is why a country like Switzerland is actually more fragmented in terms of ethnicities than Kenya. But when you look at it, it is more cohesive. A country like Tanzania, Honorable Speaker, is more fragmented in terms of ethnicities. But when you go to Arusha or Dar es Salaam, and you ask anyone which tribe you come from, the first thing they ask you is, are you Kenyan? Honorable Speaker, what I'm just trying to say is that it is important progressively. It may not happen very suddenly. Progressively, that for a country to actually thrive economically, they have to pull in one direction. And for a people to pull in one direction, they have to be the same people. That homogeneity of the people, Honorable Speaker, comes about by coming up with a culture that overacts and a culture that is shared across all people. People could be speaking different languages. People could be different even in their appearance, Honorable Speaker, but it is important, even for a country to thrive, that we pull in one direction. And for us to pull in one direction, we first of all have to deal with the fault lines. We have to deal, Honorable Speaker, with things that divide us and find an overarching culture and shared values that bring us together as a people. And upon that, Honorable Speaker, the beauty is that we always have a chance. As a country, we have a chance. As a continent, we have a chance, Honorable Speaker, so that we can define ourselves, Honorable Speaker, through an overarching identity, and an identity that which is not static, but which is fluid. Honorable Speaker, most of the static identities are the ones that pull people apart. For example, when you are born in a different, speaking in a different language, Honorable Speaker, many times, therefore, in that particular ethnicity you come from, you may never be able to change it in your lifetime. But, Honorable Speaker, also, another static identity that we always have to live with, Honorable Speaker, many times it comes as religion. Honorable Speaker, there are also other fundamentally static identities. But the current era, the modern age of nation building, Honorable Speaker, departs from those static identities and chaperones and comes up, Honorable Speaker, with a fluid identity where people can cross over. In the identities that are static, you can't cross over. But in a fluid identity...
I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Honorable Samuel Atandi, on your election as the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, together with your able vice chairperson, Dr. Pukose, whom during campaigns, when we were campaigning, Mr. Chair, when Baba was going for presidency, I used to tell Dr. Pukose that Baba will be president and Ruto will be resident. That nowadays is the one who calls me the resident. So congratulations, and I know that you have a job to do to serve Kenyans, and I believe that you shall deliver. And Bwana Chairman, there's a point of order that I wanted to raise concerning Mheshimiwa Mutuse. You know, Mutuse is a mono in this committee, so you need not to speak before your elders speak. Thank you, Chairman. Lastly, Chairman, there's an issue about the supplementary budget. Mr. Speaker of the National Assembly did make very vexatious pronouncements and misrepresentation of facts concerning the liaison committee, that it is the responsibility of that committee to make a budget. Chairman, you should nullify the decision that was made by the Speaker of the National Assembly, and it is the responsibility of this committee to make a budget, and therefore it should be as such. So therefore, Chairman, we need